Patrick is with us. Patrick's in Columbus, Ohio. Hey, Patrick, how are you?
Hey, Dave. Thank you for having me.
Sure. What's up?
Hey, so I paid off my student loans back in 2020, and then from about March 13th to when I finally paid them off, there was about $6,000 in there, and I'm reading that I could potentially ask a refund on those payments. And my thoughthood is with this news coming out, whether it happens, I won't do it if it sounds shady, but is it a possibility that I could get some money since I paid off my student loans, but get the government to pay a portion of it for me?
So here's the thing. The Biden administration has given almost zero details on how this is going to be implemented or the nuances, things like you're talking about. And everybody and his brother has written an opinion piece, including me, now on this whole thing. And so, what we're doing is we're guessing how it's all going to roll out. So that has not been announced by the White House. That was announced by someone in an opinion piece that they think it might happen that way. Yeah. And the details are not out on this. So but I don't know anything because I never thought we'd actually get to the place that we forgave student loans.
Same.
So I'm stupid. I just my ability to I was able to predict that he was going to do something by the end of the year, by the end of the August correctly, but I was not able to predict that he actually is going to do something of substance, which maybe he hadn't yet. We'll see. But so I don't know if this is real. I think that there's no indication from an official that this is real. But what you're proposing, I have seen what you're talking about though. So let's see. What would I do if I were in your shoes? Would I go back and get the money for free? Let me answer it this way. I try to answer questions, what would I do? And that's to be fair. In other words, not to be hypocritical. So here's the thing. I have been against the lottery in the state of Tennessee since it started many, many, many years ago because it is a tax on poor people. The vast majority of the people, the zip codes that raise 80% of the lottery money are poor zip codes. The vast majority of the money going into the lottery, more than 80% of it, is from poor people. And so lower income zip codes. Now, what's the lottery used for in the state of Tennessee? It's used to give each kid $3,000 to $4,000 towards their tuition to go to college. So it's poor people sending middle class and upper class people's kids to college. And so I'm morally against that. And I campaigned against it when the state passed it. My side lost. We've had it for a long time. But when my kids went to college, there was free lottery money available for my kids to go to college. I could have, as a multi-millionaire, accepted, at the time it was $3,000, I think it's more than that now, $3,000 or $4,000 per kid per year towards their tuition. It was available to me. It was legal. It was the program. But I had campaigned against it on the auspices that it was morally wrong because I don't believe poor people sending rich people's kids to college is right and taking advantage of, and it's a tax on the poor. It's what the lottery is. And so I don't believe it's right. So I don't do it. Now, when my kids got ready to college, I did not take that money because to me, that would be a lack of integrity after I had campaigned against it. So if I were in the situation today, as hardcore as I've been against student loan forgiveness, for me, my family to actually accept student loan forgiveness would be super hypocritical. Agreed?
Agreed.
So I'll leave that on you, and it's not saying you're right or wrong either way. But if you have had strong conversations with your friends over coffee, and you say this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, I don't think it's morally right, then you should not accept it. If you're ambivalent, you're kind of in the middle, I think you're okay morally to accept it.
Yeah,
what do you think?
There's nothing unethical here. If I'm in issues, I'm going, hey, I could
the only
use
thing
that money.
The only thing to be unethical is if you took a stand against it and then took it.
Sure. But to say, hey, I'm going to get this refund, I'm going to apply it to my baby steps, it's going to help me in a financial journey, and this is illegal, there's no loopholes here, I think he should go ahead and do it. And this is coming from studentaid.gov, Education Department. This is where this news is coming from. So it's a legitimate source, but nothing's actually happened yet. So it's still a little bit of we don't really know what could happen.
Here's the thing. They did not write this. They did not write this proposal from Biden. Biden sent it to them.
They're saying an announcement related to the extension. They have not had
time yet. They're guessing what it might look like, too. And so, no, it's not coming out of the White House. It's coming out of the deep bowels of a bureaucracy, and we'll see if any of that actually makes it to the light of day. If you're ambivalent, kind of in the middle, agnostic to the whole thing, you don't have a stand on it, take the money. If you're all for student loan forgiveness, I would take the money. You should be able to do that without conscience. But if you've been raising a banner like I have for many years that this is wrong, then, or at least it's wrong while you're still making the loans, and then after that we can discuss everything. It's just infuriating. But then you have to do this. So I didn't take the lottery money. I didn't take the PPP money. Our company could have gotten a big check during PPP, and I'm telling people this is a bad idea. Stay away from this. It's going to turn into a loan. You're stepping up on a trap door. These guys are going to choke you later. You need to stay out of it. And that PPP thing very quietly has ruined some lives. And I'm so glad we didn't take it. But for me to stay out, be on the radio going, it's horrible, and then y'all send me my check,
I'll take one.
Yeah. So
if it's not against your values, go for it. There's nothing unethical about it.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So here's another example. The Titans Stadium came into Nashville many years ago. And like almost every stadium or sports complex that comes in, they ask the city for free taxes, no taxes for years or forever. They ask the city to borrow money and put into the project. Some cases they ask the city to build the project or half of it or whatever. And that's government money, citizens' money, going into a private enterprise, and it's not like NFL owners need money. Hello, okay? But I actually was okay with them doing that, which sounds weird to a guy like me. And the reason is because of what that creates in the overall economy. It's not necessarily the Titans themselves or the sports team itself that's the big deal. It's all the things that it does for the economy. All the other jobs and all the other things that happen in the economic growth that is around it. It's a good deal for the city. The city makes more in increased tax revenue off of the other things than they gave up in the revenue on the deal. So I said, do it. Okay. And so when we did this piece of ground and we built this building, we were given some tax breaks because we're a huge employer in the state of Tennessee. I accepted those. And so, that is not incongruent. That is not incongruent.
So people that say, Dave, that's not fair. You take tax credits. What's the difference here?
Yeah.
What do you say to those people?
Well, the difference is, number one, I didn't borrow something and then ask for it to be forgiven after I promised to repay it. There's no value issue on the line, number one. But number two, what I'm saying is I've been consistent on what I've done in private and the stands I've taken public. And that's all we would ask any of you to do. Is whatever you believe, just be that all the time and quit being freaking I don't know what the Gen Z version of two-faced is, but we used to call it two-faced. Quit being two-faced. You're different on Sunday than you are on Monday. Stop it. Why don't you just be like the same all the time? And so consequently, my Christian friends are as angry at me for being not Christian enough as my non-Christian friends are because I'm a Christian. And good God, you just can't win.
You've never been in the business of making everyone happy, Dave. We know that.
Yeah, really?
That's one thing I do know about you.
George. And
we love it.
Well, we, welcome to the parade. Horse gate, right?
Oh,
welcome to the parade. This is the Ramsey Show.